This place was incredible. They had boxed Game Gear games, they had Dreamcast games, Mega Drive games, SNES games, you name it, this place had it. What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the free trade-in game collection challenge, the series where we build a video game collection for free. That's right, everything you see behind me has been added to the collection in this series, which is all in a place for you, and it should be on the channel somewhere. Go back and check it out, because otherwise you're not going to know really what's going on. I'll give you a very quick rundown on how things work. I go out with some money, I buy something, I sell part of it to make the money back. So if we spend £20, I sell part of it for £20. Therefore, whatever we have left over hasn't cost me anything, and I take that into CEX, trade it in, get a voucher, and then I pick something up and put it on the shelf. It is quite literally that simple. We have made some rule changes along the way. Spoiler alert, it's no longer really a trade-in game collection series. I am going to stick to it as best I can and as much as possible, but if I ever see something out in the wild and I want to buy it, I will buy it, so long as we can cover the cost of it, and I'm going to add it to the collection regardless of how we picked it up. So, with that in mind, there wasn't an episode midweek because it's been very, very dry this week. In fact, for the very first time in the series, I am going to use the collection that you see behind me to add to the collection. I know it's maybe a little bit confusing, but I will talk about it when I get there. I went to a few charity shops. Unfortunately, charity shops they just think they're like boutiques or something. People are going in there and donating things from dead relatives or relatives that go into care homes, or people who just don't want things anymore. Oh, I don't want this, I'll just take it to the charity shop. They dump it on the doorstep and they leave. Then the charity shop will take it in, go through it, and decide that they are an eclectic boutique where, you know, they're going to rival Harrods, and they try and up the price of these things. Back even 2 or 3 years ago, before lockdown, you go to a charity shop, you could pick up a stack of games for like £3. Now you go in there, you'd be lucky if you can find one game for £3. It is shocking, the prices on some of the things in charity shops. Football shirts are a big one. They used to be really cheap, and now if you see, I went into one a few weeks ago, it might have been a few months ago now, to be honest. They had a Liverpool shirt from 2014. It wasn't in very good condition, and on eBay you can probably get it for about £8 because it was like a Warrior one. It wasn't a good shirt. They had it in there for £25. Who is pricing these things? Anyway, in today's episode we're going to go around charity shops. We're going to do that right now. I also go round a video game store in Gloucester. This place was insane. Unfortunately, I will have to apologise for the lighting and the camera work. Now, the camera work, I can't really do an awful lot about. It's just the fact that the GoPro is old. There's not really any stabilisation on it. The lighting, I also couldn't do anything about because it was very dark in this place. I will, if I remember, and I can find out because I'm not really sure, I will put the name of this place on the screen for you right now. It was insane. They moved from the high street. We walked past it and it was closed down, and I got a little bit like annoyed because that's part of the reason why I went to Gloucester, which is like over an hour away from my house. And they'd moved, but they moved to like a premises that was 3 or 4 times the size of their old one. Look at some of these games. They've got NES games, SNES games. They've got a Game Genie down there, which is probably worth about £100 in itself. They've got some Wii U stuff. They did actually have some Wii U stuff that I was interested in. The issue with this shop is the price. They are very eBay price orientated. So I took some games with me to take into CEX, which I will talk about in a minute, and we'll go into CEX. But I went in here, and on the window it says we buy, we trade, we sell, etc. So I thought, well, do you know what? They've got loads of games. If this was CEX, I'd be all over it. So I thought, I'll ask them, how much would they give me for the 2 games that I took with me? CEX were going to give me £26 for these 2 games. I took it up to the counter, just a guy who was flicking through some Pokemon cards, probably the owner. and he had to go on what I presume was eBay. Look at it. It's just, I mean, if I had an N64, to be honest, I would have picked up maybe 10 games because they were quite cheap. You probably can't see the prices. Some of these are about £2, and yeah, okay, they're games like football games or whatever, but a lot of them were games that I would quite like to have in a collection. And with N64 games, even NES games and SNES games, boxes aren't that important, just purely because they're quite rare because of the cardboard. You know, it's so old now that the cardboard will have been discarded or disintegrated or whatever. So I don't mind just collecting cart only for things like N64. Anyway, going back to it, £26 is what CEX would have given me in credit for those two games. And this guy was going to give me 12, I think he said, maybe 15. I mean, he's an independent retailer. I understand he needs to make as much money as possible. It's off the beaten track now as well, this shop. I mean, I say off the beaten track. It's just down one of the side streets. But you wouldn't know it was there unless you knew it was there. Do you know what I mean? So I understand that he was offering less. But the problem with this place is that he has eBay prices on things. Now, CEX don't have eBay prices on things for most of the stuff like this anyway. You know, old sort of retro stuff. I'm looking at Master System stuff and Sega Game Gear and Mega Drive and things like that. Even, you know, a bunch of Sega Saturn games as well, which is definitely something that I want to pick up in the future. But yeah, it was all eBay prices, and I was a bit disappointed because there was a game in there that I really wanted. It was Sensible Soccer. I have been looking for that game for a long time at a reasonable price. Now, it was the limited edition one, which sells on eBay for about 45, 50 quid. I don't know how much it was. I didn't even ask, because I'm looking at games like Altered Beast and stuff, and they are about £15, £20. There's no way Sensible Soccer would have been affordable. He had PS4 games as well as Xbox One games. They were in a cabinet. This place has got Funko Pops and Pokemon cards and NECA figures and all the rest of it. There was just so much stuff in here. I didn't film a lot of it because we were the only ones in the store, and I felt a little bit awkward, like I didn't know whether I was allowed to. But some decent PS4 games actually at some very reasonable prices if I was looking to pick them up. Now, unfortunately, I didn't buy anything in that store. As I said, they were eBay prices. If I were looking for something specific that I wanted to check the condition of before I actually pulled the trigger, then sure, you know, why not? I would have gone for it. But on this occasion, as I didn't really have much in the way of spare cash to be spending on things like this, I decided to leave it. I made my way over to CEX and had a little look around. Now, I said to you that I took two games with me. Well, I didn't buy them for this particular trip. I didn't pick them up on this trip or anything like that. I've been struggling this week big time when it comes to pickups. There's been nothing on Facebook worth picking up. There was a Switch, right, and I kind of regret not picking it up, but at the same time I'm kind of glad I didn't. So a Switch popped up in my area on Facebook, and it was £100, and it was boxed, and it had 4 games with it, which is an insane deal. There was a problem with the Joy-Cons. Apparently 2 of the Joy-Cons were faulty, or they had a little bit of drift or whatever. That's not too much of a problem. For £100, I could just sell the console even faulty and then trade the games in, and it would have been good. But it would have been £100, and then I would have been waiting to get the money back, and then I would have been hoping that, you know, I didn't have any complaints and people read it properly and all the rest of it. So, and I needed the money for certain things, you know, cost of living crisis and all that nonsense. Gas and electric has gone through the roof. So in the end, I didn't pull the trigger. That was quite literally, though, the only deal that has popped up, even on places like eBay and Vinted and whatever. There's just nothing. You know, the people are selling games at reasonable prices if you want to put them on a shelf, but if you want to resell them or trade them in, it's just not worth doing. So unfortunately, I was left in a predicament. Either don't make a video or think outside the box a little bit. So that is exactly what I did. So I go into CEX and I have a little bit of a look round, and yeah, there's some things there. And to be honest, I knew I was going to Gloucester in the morning, so I had a little look to see what I could get there and if there was anything worth trying to find credit for. There was. There was at least 2 games that I wanted to pick up. They had a bigger Wii U section. Their PS4 section looked healthy. Their retro section in general looked very, very good. So I had a little look at my own collection. That PS2 that you see behind me, obviously we didn't trade it in because it's still there, but I have said about that before, if we are desperate for credit, we may be able to get a boxed credit for that if I can find some inserts. I do have inserts, but they're not the original ones. They are inserts for something completely different, but they're very similar in size. I may be able to get away with trading that in. And quite possibly should have tried, to be honest, because picking up a PS2 is not difficult. Picking up a box PS2 is a little bit more tricky, but it's not impossible. And if you can get £80 to £90 in credit for it, then why not? Especially with some of the things that you could get in the Gloucester CEX, which, by the way, is so well organised. If you work there, bravo. The glass cabinets, they've all got end labels on their N64 games, their NES games, SNES games, etc. You can actually see what they are without guessing or trying to look around the corner. All of the Mega Drive stuff is all labelled up with prices. It's all in the cabinet as well. My local one puts like 2 games in there and then just chucks the rest in a cardboard box behind the counter. What is all that about? If I'm in a shop, surely I should be able to see it all. I might as well have just stayed in my house. Do you know what I mean? Anyway, I had a little look at my collection. What can I bear to part with? First game, and to be fair, it's been on my mind ever since I picked it up because it's awful. I tried it. It was one of the first pickups. Road Rage on the PS4. This game is trash. It is so bad. I mean, I can't explain to you how disappointed I was with this game, because the reason I picked it up was because I was hoping it was going to be like Road Rash on the Mega Drive. That game is monumental. It is such a good game. Iconic, if you will. And I was hoping that this was going to pay homage to it in a way, and it was going to be very similar. The only thing you can do in this, that you can do in Road Rash on the Mega Drive, is just try and hit people when they're on the bike. That's the only premise that they've taken over. The game on the Mega Drive somehow plays better than the PS4. It handles better, you can move the bikes better, there's a greater sense of speed, you can actually turn a corner. There aren't really any corners on the Mega Drive version, it's kind of just a straight road. But I prefer that. It's just not a good game on the PS4. We picked it up for £12. Did have the receipt somewhere. I picked it up for £12 with Yoshi's Woolly World on the Wii U, and it trades in for 10. So I thought, you know, we're losing £2, but they've got some good stuff there. Some stuff actually that they're underselling. 2 of the games I picked up are worth double on eBay what I paid for them in CEX, so not going to complain. And then the other game, I'm looking around and there's a few that stand out, but none of them really trade in for a lot. And then I was thinking, hang on, what game have I been playing recently? I've been playing Crash Racing Nitro Fueled thing, right? Picked it up for what, £5 a couple of weeks ago, maybe even last week. Been playing it a little bit. It's okay. I'm not a massive fan of it. I think I would prefer a Mario Kart type of game. I'd even prefer to play Mario Kart on the Wii U than I would to play this Crash game on the Switch. Even though it looks better, it's just not something I'm interested in. I've tried it, I've had a fair few races. I don't like the in between the races bit, trying to find different races. It's confusing. I'm not a massive Crash Bandicoot fan anyway. I mean, it's fine, there's nothing really wrong with it, but it's just not for me. So, had a little look. Does it still trade in for 16? Yes, it does. So those 2 games gave me 26. I contemplated the Wii Mini. So the Wii Mini only trades in for like £26, but I wouldn't do that. I would just trade in the controller. The red controller trades in for £20. The nunchuck I think goes in for 3. Might have gone up by now, might have gone down, I don't know. But I was thinking, we need to sell that to pay for the Wii U. I might just take the Wii U money out of the cash profit balance, just to write it off once and for all, so that Wii Mini isn't hanging over me like an albatross around my neck, because that's exactly what it is. Every time I look at that Wii Mini, every time someone watches it on eBay, I'm praying that it sells, so that in my mind we've paid for the Wii U, because at the moment I still feel like the Wii U cost me money, even though it kind of hasn't, because I still have that asset to sell. So I was kind of thinking of taking it out of the cash profit and then just trading in part of the Wii Mini, but for now I didn't. We're going to leave it there. I've just sent out another offer on the Wii Mini. Hopefully it goes. We'll see. Anyway, we took £26 into CEX, and I had a little look around, and I picked up 3 games. So the first game is a Wii U game, and it's kind of in the same vein as this Crash Racing. It is Sonic AllStars Racing, again, essentially. I haven't played this, but I've seen some other people play it like years ago. It looked as fun as it could be. To be fair, I think I might have played it. Did this come out on the Wii? I feel like it might have come out on the Wii. I don't know. Either way, I have enough information about this to know that this is going to be a better game for me than the Crash game is, because I much prefer Sonic characters than I do Crash characters. I can relate to this a little bit more, not because I'm a hedgehog, but I just prefer it. I like the look of it, and it's got all the, obviously there's a bunch of receipts there, because I keep receipts as a bit of a history, like, token, if you will. So in like 20 years time, when I'm looking through these, if I still have them, I'll be able to say, oh, I picked up Road Rage for £12 and Yoshi's Woolly World for £12, but this, hang on, this isn't this. Flicking through the receipts, oh, I traded Road Rage in, oh, I remember now. And it's like a little bit of a nostalgia trip, but it has the manual with it. The disc is okay. I don't think my CEX would take the disc, to be honest, because if you have a scratch on a Blu-ray disc, that's the end of it. And that, honestly, that is the spiel that the guy in my CEX gives me every time. So yeah, pick that up. That was 10. That is more expensive than the next two, not combined, but each. Next two are Mega Drive games. Two of them I've been looking to pick up for a while. I used to play them a lot as a kid. Didn't own one of them. I think I own this next one though. T2, Terminator 2. I think I owned this on the Game Gear. I'm almost certain I had it on the Game Gear, not the Mega Drive. I was a big Sega boy back in the day. But this is a good game, but it also is a banging price. £8. Don't know if that's going to focus, probably not. £8 on eBay, if complete. This sells for between 14 and 17-ish. Is it complete? Yes, it is. And not only is it complete, it's actually in pretty good condition. The label itself is in good condition as well. Big fan of that. Do you know what else I'm a big fan of? The staff in the Gloucester CEX. Woman went over to the counter, or the glass cabinet, picked it up, brought it back over, put it down, opened it up and said, check the condition, see if that's okay for you. She knows, because people aren't going to go in there and pick these up who don't care about the condition. Collectors buy these. You know, 14-year-olds with pocket money are not going in there. Do you have pocket money when you're 14? Going in there buying Mega Drive games. They're just not doing it. They're going in there and they're buying PS4 games or PS5 games or something. So collectors buy these. She understood that. She realised that. She knew that. And she asked me if the condition was good. Condition was great. More than happy to get it. The next game I've probably bought 20 times over but never owned. Blockbuster was a money pit. I am talking about one of the greatest games ever made. Desert Strike on the Mega Drive. If you haven't played this, you are missing out. It's up there with Cannon Fodder. Although I do think Cannon Fodder is a better game. Not that they're similar. Kind of, not really. So this, again, was £8. It's in reasonably good condition on the outside. There's a little bit of crinkling to the spine there. I might be able to get that out. I don't know if you can tell. But this is a game that I've been after for quite a while. Now, if complete, again, it's not a super expensive game. It's roughly the same price as the T2, but it might go for a little bit more. So it's probably going to go from about 15 to 18 if in good condition. The most recent sold complete on eBay was £23, but that was very good condition. And they said it was a first edition as well. I honestly don't know how you can tell, if you can even tell. I'm guessing they just meant that, you know, it's the original artwork, because they did bring this out in like with a white border, like a classics kind of deal. So I'm really happy to pick this up as well. But is it complete? Unfortunately, no, I'm joking. It is complete. It's in really good condition as well. There is some writing on the inside of the manual, but I kind of like that. So they're either passwords for levels or they're cheats. I can't really work out what they are. So back in the day, you didn't really have save features on some games, and used to have passwords to get through different levels. So if you get through level 1 and you wanted to turn the console off, you write down the password that they give you, and then when you go back on, if you want to skip level 1, you type in the password, you go to level 2. And it used to do that for every level, because it didn't have enough room on the cartridge for a save feature. So yeah, there it is. Banging game. And again, I'm gonna say it would go for about 15 quid quite comfortably. Same with T2. I think I might be able to push a little bit more, but there is £30 in value for what cost me 16 quid, and then we add that to it as well. Now, even though I'm saying that they're worth 15 each, that is worth about a tenner on eBay, to be fair. I'm not gonna add like 40 odd pound to the collection. I'm not gonna deduct anything. I'm not gonna add anything. I'm just gonna say it's exactly the same. So we're not adding value to, I mean, even though we technically are, we're not going to add value to the collection today. We picked up 3 games for the price of 2, one of which I hated, the other which I didn't really get on with. So I'm more than happy to do that every now and again. I'm not doing that every episode, because eventually not my luck, but it's just going to run out, and I'm not going to be able to do what I've done there. I'm not going to be able to replicate getting better value for money, because that's what I feel like I've done there. I've got a game on the Wii U that I actually want to play, and I've got 2 really nice pieces on the Mega Drive that are worth double what I paid for them, but I'm not going to get that every time. So sometimes I'm going to go in, I'm going to trade something in for a tenner, I'm going to pick it up, something else up for a tenner that's going to be actually worth a little bit less on eBay or something, and then we're going to slowly deplete the sort of value of the collection. I don't want to continue to do that. I will keep my eyes out for some more deals. I didn't buy anything from that game store, which is a bit disappointing, but I'm not ruling it out in the future. You know, I go to Gloucester maybe once or twice every month or 2, so it's not like I'm never going to go there again. He's only just moved, so if he is going to go out of business, I'm pretty sure I've got a few months before he does. So yeah, I will, next time, I'm going to go there with a little bit more ammo. I'm going to go there with some nice bits, and hopefully get some decent trade on it, and then maybe do a little bit of a swap with some of his Mega Drive games, because some of the Mega Drive games he had, wow, I would like to get them. Shaq Fu, there was a theme park there which I really love, especially on the Mega Drive. Sega Saturn version is the best one, but still. And the Sensible Soccer game, really want that. Love Sensi, so it would be really nice to pick that up. But that's going to do it for today. 3 pickups for the price of 2. We're adding games I actually like to the collection. Thank you, Gloucester. You have been amazing. If you have enjoyed this video, do me a favor and hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and until the next time, goodbye.